Hello, my trashy friends. This is Noelle at Pretty Sassy Creations. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. So for this week's journaling card for my Trashy Trash Journal series, I am going to do Caroline on the Hillside's prompts that she pulled from her heart prompts recently, and the two cards that she pulled were Knowledge is Power and Free Spirit. And so part of the thing is, what does that mean to you? It doesn't necessarily mean the term or the description or the definition. It's what it means to you. So of course I will put Caroline's Hillside prompts in the description box. So go over, if you haven't already, check out her channel and what she did. And I'm just going to kind of go with my gut, and I will definitely be speeding the process up so you don't have to sit through all of my decision making. But I did pull a few things. This is going to be what I'm going to do my journaling card on. So I've got that. And then one of the things for me that knowledge is power is age. You know, the older we get, I feel, it's the more knowledge and things that we learn. Everybody's knowledge is going to be different, depending on what they have learned in their lives, whether it be through books or through, learning, or just through life skills and living a life that's, to a older age. They have, I feel, more, wisdom. Wisdom to me and knowledge can kind of go hand in hand. So I did find a few the Flow Trip book. I'm definitely 100% not going to use them all, but I would like to have some options. So again, to me, knowledge is living, and we just seem to continue to learn and understand more things the older we get. We're not born with knowledge. One thing that said, if you could go back and have one thing that you have now that you weren't born with, it would be some knowledge. Because every day is learning. And as you're younger, there's certain things that I know now that I would have definitely changed having that knowledge. And one is time. Just knowing how fast time goes. I would have maybe slowed down a little bit and not been in such a rush for things, not wishing things ahead, waiting for my kids to get older so they could talk or maybe walk or finish the second grade, whatever. I wish I just would have more lived in the moment, I guess. But I know that now, and I think that's one thing that's really awesome about having grandchildren is you get to kind of, the drill, how fast this time is going to go. And no matter how much as you're growing up an older person may tell you, enjoy it goes so quick, you don't listen until you're of that age. And then you're like, that's what they were talking about. That's what they meant by enjoy it. And so that's what knowledge is to me, is growth and wisdom and those kind of things. And I feel along with growth also is the free spirit. As you grow, to me, you develop your own path, your own beliefs, your own thoughts. And for my interpretation of a free spirit is somebody that isn't conforming to the status quo. They're doing their own thing. They're in their own comfort zone. They really don't care what other people think, as long as their happiness and they're not hurting somebody else. They're in their own comfort. And to me, that is a free spirit. Just one that does their thing, has peace with themselves. To me, that is what it means to me anyhow. And I did yoga for years, and it was outside on a beautiful deck in somebody's yard that was just, I'm not going to obviously mention names for privacy reasons, but it was just so beautiful and exciting and relaxing, and you could just breathe and be yourself, and it didn't matter what level you were. There was no competition. It was just all being free and doing what was within your comfort zone. And of course, me being the smart aleck that I am, you know, I was one of the bigger girls. They were all pretty, you know, super fit and skinny. But one thing I did have, I had great balance. But I would walk in there just because, you know, we're all very, you know, focused once the practice begins. But beforehand, we're laughing, we're talking. And one week, I remember I walked in, and our instructor, who is also a friend of mine, was not there yet. I walk in with my mat, and I go to the front, and I let them know that, I'm sorry, you guys, our instructor's not here this evening. I will be instructing class tonight. And you know, you do your level and don't feel like you have to keep up with me. And it was just funny because these girls were all so ahead of me. But it was fun. But it was me being my own free spirit. I was comfortable with that humor. I wasn't trying to cover anything. I was just being me. So that is part of, you know, I feel everybody kind of can be what they want and have their own beliefs, and that's you, that's your free spirit. You have that right. So as I'm just cutting here a few things and talking, you're probably like, shush, let's see what you're getting to. I'm cutting out, you know, all of these people that I feel have so much wisdom and knowledge, and it's going to be hard to pick which ones I am going to use because I only have, you know, this size journaling card to put it all in. This lady, this is the oldest living person as of August 13th, 2007. This is Edna Parker, and she became the oldest living person, age 114 years old and 115 days. Can you imagine her knowledge and the stories? There's nothing to me that I love more. Well, there's quite a few things I love more, but that I enjoy, let's put it that way, than listening to, you know, the elderly talk about back in the day. Just find it so fascinating, and yeah, just kind of pretty cool listening to their stories that they have and their experiences and all that stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and shut my pie and go ahead and kind of collage these things and just see what we come up with. So let's have some fun. To me, it's colorful, but this didn't turn out quite the way I wanted it, but it's okay. So this lady right here, she's got a surfboard. I had to cut some of it off, heading into she's in the ocean, going to boogie board, surfboard, whatever. Like, to me, free spirit. She's going to do what she wants to do. She doesn't care what anybody thinks. She doesn't care that she's probably in her 90s. She is doing what possibly more than not 90-year-olds, no, that don't do, is go surfing in the ocean. Everything here, I kind of calculated it all into one journaling card. It does look like a bunch of mishmash, but to me, I really like it. And on the back here, I did want to go ahead and add Edna. And again, what I'm thinking of, free spirit. And Caroline on the Hillside, knowledge is power and free spirit. So thank you guys for watching, and we will see you next time.